Hey, I'm here with the first All-Star, Brian Rich. Now, you're about to take on the CWE Tag Team Champions, MMAX. But as of earlier today, you haven't even announced who your tag team partner is going to be. So do you have somebody in mind?
You know what, I haven't thought of that quite just yet, but hey man, come here. Come here.
Wow, Pimp Daddy Rick Matthews.
That I am, the Pimp Daddy Rick Matthews.
Hey man, taking on MX tonight for the Tag Team Championships, and I don't quite have a partner yet, so I was wondering maybe you would like to join me and win the tag team belts together. What do you think?
Well, the Pimp Daddy is always up for a challenge. But I'll tell you, everybody knows, I may be easy, but I don't come cheap.
Oh, alright. Well, Mr. Pimp Daddy, do you accept credit card?
The Pimp Daddy only works in cash. That's an insult.
Okay.
$20?
That's all I have, man.
I don't even change my boots for $20. You gotta do better than that.
Man, that's all I have right now. Can you take that as a down payment?
Tell you what, I'll take this as a down payment for now, and after the match, you pay me the balance.
Sounds fair.
All right, let's head to Mike and Dave.
They are the CWE Tag Team Champions. The Blue-Eyed Idol, Tyler Colton. The Zombie Hunter, Antonio.
Welcome to CWE TV. I'm Mike Young, joined by Dynamite Dave Petro, and we are kicking things off with an explosive match for the CWE Tag Team Championships.
Wow, absolutely huge. The champions entering the ring, Mentalo and the Blue-Eyed Idol, Tyler Colton.
Yeah, together they are MMAX, and the crowd not too happy about these guys being in the ring. They haven't endeared themselves well to the crowd, and Tyler Colton, like you mentioned last week, getting cockier and cockier every time we see him.
Referee Bubbles McFly has the championship belts.
Good to see Bubbles back in the ring, too.
He took a nasty tumble at the hands of Hotshot Danny Devin several weeks ago. But here's the thing about these two guys, as Dave King makes his introduction, it's the strangest tag team matchup, tag team combination I have seen. I thought that Bobby Collins, Rebel Bobby Collins, and Billy Blaze's odd tag team, this one takes the cake.
Yeah, and there was some backdoor dealings to get this tag team made up. Brian Rich looking for a partner here in CWE, and he paid off Pimp Daddy Rick Matthews to be his partner. So that's who we're going to see as Brian Rich's tag team partner as they head to the ring here. The Pimp Daddy and Brian Rich going to challenge for the tag team titles.
The fans are exploding for the Pimp Daddy Rick Matthews.
They are, and I think that's only because Brian Rich is so likable and endearing himself to the CWE fans as he has done, that the Pimp Daddy getting some residual fan support.
Listen to the fans, they're going bananas. This guy with a smile on his face, he's strutting around.
Waving that pimp cane around as he hangs it from that top turnbuckle.
I think he's changed. I think he's turned over a new leaf.
Don't count on it.
I believe so. I think so. Hey, it's hard to fool me.
Brian Rich and Rick Matthews teaming up here for the first time ever, and they've got themselves a tag team title match. The reason why Brian Rich wanted this match is he wants to prove to both Mentalo and Tyler Colton that he's worthy of them. Mentalo trained Tyler Colton and Brian Rich together, and he chose Colton as the guy he was going to bring in and form MMAX with, not Rich. And Brian Rich wants to show them that maybe you made the wrong mistake, or maybe you can use the third guy in that faction.
Absolutely correct. Now look at Brian Rich just going to town on Tyler Colton.
Yeah, Brian Rich, very explosive. He's small in size, but he's got some very dynamic and explosive offense. Loves to get the crowd behind him. Feeds off of their energy as he's just sent into the ropes by Mentalo. Mentalo jumps over, ducks under. Rich comes in again, and Rich taking Mentalo over with a beautiful head scissor takeover, and he has sent both members of the tag team champions to the floor.
And the Pimp Daddy Rick Matthews, he is right in this. He's got the fans on the side of Brian Rich. And I think he's going to wrestle the match with his hat.
Yeah, hasn't taken his hat off yet as Rich goes to the top rope. Mentolo and Colton on the floor, not expecting this. Beautiful somersault splash off the top rope. Neither of them saw that coming, and Brian Rich is in full control of this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got Mentolo back in the ring now, and I think this would be wise to go for the pin attempt right now because he is dazed Mentolo. This is one explosive tag team match, and we'll see the Pimp Daddy, Rick Matthews.
Still wearing his hat.
He's going to wrestle with a hat.
Mentolo sent into the ropes, double team coming. Double back elbows from Rick Matthews and Brian Rich, and this first-time team is doing pretty well out of the gates.
Absolutely. The guy wrestling with a hat on. Now you've seen it all.
Beautiful spine buster, shades of the great Arn Anderson. And now Matthews throwing the cowboy hat at Mentolo and going for a pin. Got a 2 count there.
We are seeing a new Rick Matthews.
We're certainly seeing a focused Rick Matthews. He's got some cash in his pocket from Brian Rich and a chance to be a CWE Tag Team Champion, and that, of course, would mean a bigger paydays for Rick Matthews. Look at that, beautiful vertical suplex. We saw Tyler Colton use that last week against Eclipse, and I think Rick Matthews outdid him a little bit.
Absolutely. A pimp, happy Pimp Daddy with cash in his pocket. Wow.
That's the way to make a Pimp Daddy happy. Money in the pocket.
He doesn't share a lot of it either.
Lackadaisical cover by Rick Matthews could have cost this team the match. As Brian Rich not even facing the crowd, trying to get the crowd fired up into this matchup.
Whoa, great drop over.
I think Rick Matthews was expecting something else, and now looked to be a communication breakdown there by Matthews and Rich, which is to be expected by a team teaming up for the first time.
First time. Yep. Rick Matthews, of course, now on the side of good, if you will. I'm sure he'll just let that one slide off his back.
Yeah, they are winning, of course. Oh, and there's a shot by Mentolo, halting the offense of Brian Rich, and now sitting him down. Mentolo into the ropes. Mentolo coming in hard. That screaming drop kick right to the face of Brian Rich. And the offensive machine that Brian Rich and Rick Matthews were at the beginning of this match has crashed and burned.
Yeah, that was almost that little faux pas on the tag team communication between Brian Rich and Pimp Daddy. And that's really cost them now the momentum thrown down the sides of the tag team champions.
Mentolo setting Rich up for something here, dangling him off the ring apron, tying him up in the ropes. He's caught in the tree of woe, and Tyler Colton says, go ahead.
My!
A beautiful sliding drop kick sends Brian Rich spilling to the floor.
There's nowhere to go.
And just like that, the tag champions are back in control.
And the Pimp Daddy trying to get in, now he needs to get in there. Brian Rich needs to make that tag. We need to see the Pimp Daddy in here clean a little house.
Yeah, we certainly do. As now the double team starts from Mentolo and Colton. Double shoulder block takeover there, and a wonderful pose by the Blue-Eyed Idol.
Pimp Daddy wants to get in there. He needs this. This is a championship match, is it not, Mike?
It certainly is. Tag team titles on the line.
Wow.
Winner take all. It's M-Max against Brian Rich and Rick Matthews. If you're just joining us, this is CWE TV. I'm Mike Young, joined by Dave Petro. And that was a beautiful, started off as a suplex, ended up as a slam by Colton. And Brian Rich able to get that shoulder up at the last second.
This would be like Steve Austin and Dude Love winning the tag team championship the first time they ever teamed. If the Pimp Daddy and Brian Rich can get this done today.
Would Brian Rich be Stone Cold Steve Austin, or would it be Rick Matthews?
Neither.
Brian Rich sent in another double team on the way. A beautiful slam, almost a bit of a choke slam there by Colton.
We've seen this.
Here's that crab into a camel clutch, into a drop kick to the face. And the double pose down on the way from Tyler Colton and Mentolo, who are firmly in control here.
Pimp Daddy Rick Matthews showing his frustration on the outside. Bubbles McFly, the referee, keeping him out of the ring because there's an absolute flagrant double teaming going on, and Rick Matthews being blocked by getting into the ring by Bubbles McFly.
Now, Rick Matthews getting very frustrated on the ring apron, definitely wants back into this matchup. Rich sent in, Mentolo ducked, and Rich able to telegraph. Look at this. Beautiful rolling pin attempt. 1, 2. Mentolo able to sneak out of that one before a 3 count. Catches him with a roll up there. 1, 2. Brian Rich, 2 quick pinfall attempts there, and caught a clothesline for his troubles. And again, you see on the outside, Rick Matthews going crazy. He wants back in this matchup, and he just can't get back in.
Brian Rich needs to make a tag in the biggest way. You know, you're not going to pin many guys that in shades of Hercules Hernandez like that with a laissez-faire kind of a pin attempt like that. Mentolo knows better than that.
Mentolo likes to do things for show every now and again. When he's focused, but he loses that focus and goes for the taunting, the cockiness, and the ego slips in, and Mental is able to make a few lapses in judgment, I think, as Colton rakes the eyes with those boots and a stiff shot to the spine. A little spinal tap there by Colton.
Absolutely, this big tag team match, this could be it. Brian Rich has had enough, I think.
Rich, one of the toughest, most resilient guys in the CWE locker room, fighting out of that and able to kick out before a 3 count, save the matchup, and save the chance that he and Rick Matthews could be tag team champions by the end of this night.
Great action, as always, here on CWE Wrestling. And Mike, tonight, a huge main event?
Yeah, we got Stevie Richards, the WWE, WCW, and ECW star. He's come to Winnipeg, and he's going to take on Anderson Tyson Moore, a very game Anderson Tyson Moore, who wants nothing more than to upset Stevie's arrival in Winnipeg.
The stars are lining up to come to CWE.
Colton with that headlock in the center of the ring. Rich fighting off and nailed a bit of a jawbreaker on Colton there.
Make that tag, make that tag!
Trying to get to the corner. Rick Matthews just jumping up and down, trying to get in this match. There's the chance for Brian Rich. Here we go. Tag is, oh no, Mentolo able to grab the boot. And another Insiguri there by Rich. Here it comes up.
I knew something was up. I saw Rick Matthews pull away, but he could have made the tag a few seconds earlier.
Brian Rich just slapped
Double
Brian
cross.
Rich in the face. Rick Matthews ducked out of the way of that tag, and Rich just ate a boot to the face by Colton. Look at this.
He fooled me, Mike.
Yeah, he certainly did. You thought he had turned over a new leaf.
I did. I wanted to see it.
He did not. He took Brian Rich's money, and he's running.
Oh, Brian Rich still with some spark.
He certainly has some spark, some fight, but is it just a matter of time here? Mentolo sends him into the corner. Mentolo now running in. Rich ducks out of the way. Rich coming in. Knees to the chest. And a super kick by Brian Rich.
We can have new champs.
1, 2. Colton makes the save. I'm glad you mentioned the word chance, because what happens if Brian Rich pulls off an upset here?
Does he get to wear both belts?
I think Rick Matthews will make his way back to the ring and demand one of those titles.
I guess so. Technically, the contract was signed with both men.
Yeah, match had already started before Brian Rich was left on his own, and there's a boot to the face by Mentolo. Tyler Colton now receives Brian Rich in his hands, and there's a beautiful, what started off as a Uranagi face first into the mat. 1, 2. Kick out there, shoulder up by Brian Rich. And this kid is tough as absolute nails. Bubbles McFly's lost control here.
I wonder if Brian Rich has a receipt for the money that changed hands. Can he get a bit of a refund?
Look at this. Colton's got Rich up on his shoulders. Never seen. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
That was absolutely devastating.
Oh man. Folded like a cheap slice of cheese.
Colton is scaring away the official. And Mentolo, look at Brian Rich. He's in trouble here.
Come on, put him out of his misery. You don't need to do this, Tyler Colton. Oh, I don't think he can continue. I think the referee's called the match.
This one is over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyler Colton and Mentolo, your winners, your tag team champions. Unbelievable.
There you are.
Whoa, what's up?
Where the hell have you been?
I was just in the room talking to my kid.
Okay,
On the phone.
I'm tired of this crap with Marius. Every time I turn around, I got him, and now his goons are jumping me. He's out there challenging me to a lumberjack match. Tell me I can count on you to watch my back.
Man, you know I always got your back. I'm there.
Done. I need more guys. Come on.
Let's find them.
Hey yo, this right here is former WWE World Tag Team Champion, Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Crisper. And I got a little inside scoop for you. When you need a new ride, when you tired of the one you got, or you need a new one, you want to look good going down the highway, you want to look good for all the girls, all the guys on the street corner, whatever, you call 1, 2, 3 approved. And they'll hook you up with a loan, get your new car, be looking fly, be looking like this guy. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3 approved. Don't forget. Yeah.
The CWE store is now open for DVDs, pictures, posters of your favorite CWE stars. Go to cwecanada.ca.
Give your body the edge in one click with musclesbymyers.com. We have sports supplements, vitamins and minerals for all lifestyles and levels of fitness. And call or email for free one-on-one guidance. Smart buyers shop at Myers and musclesbymyers.com.
July 1st Canadian Wrestling's Elite makes its debut in Selkirk, Manitoba at the Canada Day Street Festival. Showtime is 12 noon, and this will see the return of the alpha male, Matt Fairlane, to CWE. July 5th, CWE makes its debut at the Rookie Sports Bar inside the Central Hotel in Transcona. Showtime is 8 p.m. and the main event on this evening will be AJ Sanchez versus Robbie Royce for the CWE Championship. August 23rd, CWE is back in Winnipeg, Manitoba with a show at the Holy Cross Gymnasium featuring former WWE Intercontinental Champion Val Venus. And then, the next night, CWE and Val Venus invade Selkirk, Manitoba and the Selkirk waterfront for a 6 p.m. showtime. This is a free show. Make sure you bring a chair, and make sure you stay tuned to www.cwecanada.ca for all your goings-on in Canadian Wrestling's Elite.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by his manager, Kevin Cannon's client.
There's a gruesome twosome. The mystery client accompanied by Kevin Cannon. Two guys have been engaging in some extracurricular activities lately. They've got a hostage in their home right now, Dave.
Absolutely. JJ Sanchez is missing. He has been abducted, Mike.
I'm surprised they left him alone, knowing Corey Kincaid full well now knows where JJ Sanchez is.
Absolutely. That is just when all of a sudden when lines get blurred, lines get crossed, and what happens in the ring and what happens on the streets. Now, and I, for one, am shocked the authorities haven't been involved, but I guess you can't issue a warrant for the arrest of someone with the name of mystery client.
No, you cannot. I don't even know if we've seen the house. Where does he live? We don't know.
I can't imagine this is not too luxurious. Here's a guy that's going to exact a little revenge for JJ Sanchez.
Yeah, a guy who is off to the races in his singles career after the team of Dalton and Spider have gone their separate ways. Darren Dalton is a guy who I see singles gold around his waist in the very near future.
And speaking around his waist, I'm talking about around his ankle. He's saluting his tag team partner, Spider, of course, forced into retirement due to some nagging injuries, and we won't see those guys teaming together anymore. But Darren Dalton, the Tattoo Terminator, showing his respect for Spider.
Yeah, the bomb going one-on-one with the mystery client here, and we've got ourselves a heavy hitter taking on a guy who you never know what he's going to do, and that's the mystery client. Always seems to be in quarters with Kevin Cannon.
Oh, sneak
and there he
attack.
is, yeah, shot from behind, takes Dalton off the top rope as he was posing for the crowd here at Casa Dominio Portuguese Center in Winnipeg. We will be back here June 28th. Don't forget, Paul London coming to town. Former WWE Ring of Honor superstar, Maximum Velocity, it's CWE, and tickets are available now. For more info, CWEcanada.ca as Darren Dalton started off getting attacked from behind, now fully in control of this matchup as he sends the mystery client and Kevin Cannon running.
Absolutely, this is going to be one big brawl because you do not wrestle the Tattoo Terminator, Darren Dalton. You got to beat him because
I think you got to survive him.
Yeah, you got to beat him. You're not going to beat him with holds because this is a guy that's been throwing bums in the saloons for years. He's been fighting in the streets. This guy is just a one-man brawl.
What is the saloons? I don't know where you hear that word on the streets. What places are you going at night where it's a saloon on the wall?
Those places with swinging doors.
This is the Wild West, apparently.
Piano player. Guys drinking draft beer.
People playing poker. Ladies with poofy dresses.
Exactly, the saloons. The kind of places that the Tattoo Terminator hangs out.
Mystery client fired hard into the ropes, and Dalton comes in with a huge splash. That's a big man coming at you at full speed like a freight train. Dalton looking to make short work of the mystery client here.
Absolutely. And you know, you kind of want to do this because you don't want to be in the ring that long.
Boom!
Yeah. Where's Kevin Cannon right now? I think he's headed for the hills.
1, 2, three.
Short work.
A huge tackle by Darren Dalton ends the night of the mystery client rather quickly. Winnipeg Blue Bombers might want to look at signing Darren Dalton here.
What a hit.
Big time win from the bomb, Darren Dalton.
Give your body the edge in one click with musclesbymyers.com. We have sports supplements, vitamins and minerals for all lifestyles and levels of fitness. And call or email for free one-on-one guidance. Smart buyers shop at Myers and musclesbymyers.com.
Have you ever thought about becoming a professional wrestler? What about working behind the scenes in professional wrestling? Well, now's your chance. The CWE Elite Wrestling Academy is now accepting students. Learn from the best that Canadian Wrestling's Elite has to offer by signing up today. Our trainers have traveled the world from Canada and the US all the way to Mexico and Japan, been featured on TV and pay-per-view all across the world. All you have to do is send an email to info@cwecanada.ca to get the ball rolling. Make your dreams come true and contact Canadian Wrestling's Elite today.
Rooms and accommodations for CWE events. Brought to you by the Marlborough Hotel.
Signed for Friday, July 5th at Rookies, AJ Sanchez challenges the pissed-off Pitbull Robbie Royce for the CWE Championship. Be sure to get your tickets for this blockbuster match taking place in the heart of Transcona inside the Central Hotel.
Ladies and gentlemen, this opening contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the CWE Championship. Introducing first.
CWE TV, and on his way to the ring, a guy who did something terrible last week, couldn't lose like a gentleman, had to attack Danny Duggan after losing the matchup to him, and pile driving the hot shot on the floor. We are happy to report, though, that Duggan is okay. He does have some damage to his neck, but he will be back from what I hear.
Yeah, you know, the despicable act because, you know, he had a good match going. He is a little bit more aggressive. He tended to flaunt the rules, not really break a lot of the rules, and he's very aggressive. And I had a high opinion of him until that pile driver outside the ring after he lost the match. Heavy metal, shame on you.
Yeah, and here's a guy who came to the aid of Danny Duggan last week along with Nate Hardy, the CWE champion, the pissed-off Pitbull, who's looking real pissed off tonight, and that's Robbie Royce swinging that chain around, causing everybody to get out of dodge, including ring announcer Dave King and referee Bubbles McFly. Heavy metal jumping out to the floor, having none of that steel chain that Robbie Royce wielded on his way to the ring.
And he still doesn't have the CWE Championship belt, but I have it. On good authority, that's going to be rectified soon. Mike, tell me about the big main event coming up.
Yeah, CWE Championship will be on the line. First time ever, I believe, in professional wrestling that we will have a lumberjack ladder match. Marius has the title in his possession. Robbie Royce is the champion. They're going to hang that title belt up from the ceiling, and they are going to compete one-on-one with lumberjacks around the ring to determine who is the CWE champion. Whoever grabs that title from the top gets to keep it. They will be the champion. And we saw before this match take place, Robbie Royce catching Darren Dalton on his way back from his match, asking Dalton to be a lumberjack in his corner come that matchup.
And Dalton's got some mean friends, I'm sure that maybe he can do recruiting on behalf of the Pissed Off Pitbull too.
Yeah, you know Marius is doing some recruiting himself, and of course he's got Cannibal and Sicko in his corner as always. Robbie Royce in control early on in this match with an arm lock on Heavy Metal as Heavy Metal gets back to his feet. A very evenly contested match back and forth last week between Metal and Duggan.
We saw a lot of good things out of Heavy Metal and a lot of bad things and a lot of shameful things, but Heavy Metal's been around a long, long time. He's been around the world. He's taken on a lot of top competitors, and he's in the ring with one of the most top competitors, if you will, if that's even English language. We're talking about Robbie Royce.
Oh, Heavy Metal almost picking up a 3 count there. This one's shaping up to be a back and forth contest as well. And how about just before we came out to this match, the SOA jumping the Rebel Bobby Collins. Billy Blaze coming in for the save, only to be jumped by what appears to be a third member of Sons of Anarchy, although we don't have clarification on that. Moses Luke jumping Billy Blaze, and the Sons of Anarchy walk off once again, leaving Blaze and Collins line.
Like, I had no idea where Moses Luke came from. I haven't seen that man in years. I thought the guy was maybe incarcerated or something, but all of a sudden, he's back on the scene.
Yeah, he was ran out of CWE by hotshot Danny Duggan when they had a title versus title match. At the time, Duggan was the CWE champion, and Moses Luke was the 123approved.ca hardcore open rules champion, who favored hardcore matches. Duggan beat him at his own game and sent him packing from CWE.
And we have not heard the last of Moses Luke in CWE, that's for sure.
It's a dangerous, dangerous man.
Yes.
And I feel bad for Bobby Collins and Billy Blaze right about now. You think Blaze is regretting his decision to shake Bobby Collins' hand? All those weeks ago?
I don't think so. I think Billy Blaze is a man. I think he's standing up for himself. He's standing what he believes in, and I think that's going to be a great alliance with him and the Rebel.
Robbie Royce taking a bit of a beating here from Heavy Metal. Shades of Kurt Hennig there from Metal. And, the son of Kurt Hennig as well, Curtis Axel, who's employing that move as well currently in the WWE. Robbie Royce has got to try and get Heavy Metal out of this thing early because he's got a date with Marius for the CWE Championship.
Absolutely. I, for one, I want to see, the thing about being, I talked about this before, the thing about being the champion, you want to display your wares. It is a trophy. That's something you wear on your waist. It's something you're very proud of. And you don't feel like a champion unless you have that belt in your possession. Robbie Royce caught him with a spear there, coming off the ropes. Royce now in control. Some big left hands from the southpaw. Discus clothesline sends Heavy Metal to the mat. And now Royce in control, sending Metal in. Spine buster by Robbie Royce. Gets him down. 2, 3. That's a 2 count there and a close one by Robbie Royce.
Oh, wow, I thought that was it. Man alive, Heavy Metal still has a fight in him.
Robbie Royce heading upstairs now. Metal getting back to his feet. Metal caught him. Coming off the top. Slammed hard to the mat. Robbie Royce goes down, and just like that, Heavy Metal back in control. That's why they call it high-risk offense.
Absolutely. You take your life in your own hands when you're on the top rope because you don't know if you're going to make that move successfully or you're going to get tossed down hard.
Metal coming off the rope. Royce caught him. Choke chain. Tapping out. There it is.
Ring the bell.
Robbie Royce, your CWE champion, is your winner. Absolutely unbelievable. Robbie Royce picking up the victory on the road to facing Marius in the first ever Lumberjack ladder match at CWE's Maximum Velocity, June 28th at Casa Domingo in Winnipeg.
Give your body the edge in one click with musclesbymyers.com. We have sports supplements, vitamins and minerals for all lifestyles and levels of fitness. And call or email for free one-on-one guidance. Smart buyers shop at Myers and musclesbymyers.com.
Hey yo, this right here is former WWE World Tag Team Champion, Grandmaster Sexay, Brian Crisper. And I got a little inside scoop for you. When you need a new ride, when you tired of one you got, or you need a new one, you want to look good going down the highway, you want to look good for all the girls, all the guys on the street corner, whatever, you call 123 approved. And they'll hook you up with a loan, get your new car, be looking fly, be looking like this guy. Oh yeah, 123 approved. Don't forget it. Yeah.
The
CWE store is now open for DVDs, pictures, posters of your favorite CWE stars. Go to CWEcanada.ca.
July 1st, Canadian Wrestling's Elite makes its debut in Selkirk, Manitoba at the Canada Day Street Festival. Showtime is 12 noon, and this will see the return of the alpha male, Matt Fairlane, to CWE. July 5th, CWE makes its debut at the Rookie Sports Bar inside the Central Hotel in Transcona. Showtime is 8 p.m. and the main event on this evening will be AJ Sanchez versus Robbie Royce for the CWE Championship. August 23rd, CWE is back in Winnipeg, Manitoba with a show at the Holy Cross Gymnasium featuring former WWE Intercontinental Champion Val Venus. And then, the next night, CWE and Val Venus invade Selkirk, Manitoba and the Selkirk waterfront for a 6 p.m. showtime. This is a free show. Make sure you bring a chair, and make sure you stay tuned to www.cwecanada.ca for all your goings-on in Canadian Wrestling's Elite.
Have you ever thought about becoming a professional wrestler? What about working behind the scenes in professional wrestling? Well, now's your chance. The CWE Elite Wrestling Academy is now accepting students. Learn from the best that Canadian Wrestling's Elite has to offer by signing up today. Our trainers have traveled the world from Canada and the US all the way to Mexico and Japan, been featured on TV and pay-per-view all across the world. All you have to do is send an email to info@cwecanada.ca to get the ball rolling. Make your dreams come true and contact Canadian Wrestling's Elite today.
Tonight's main event is brought to you by McDowell's Gym, located at 181 Stradbrook Avenue in Winnipeg. For more info, visit mcdowellsgym.com. Our CWE TV main event as Anderson Tyson Moore makes his way to the ring, and he's got one heck of a challenge on his hands, but it's a challenge he wanted, it's a challenge he asked for, and frankly, Dave, it's a challenge he earned.
He earned it. He defeated, he eclipsed Tommy Lee Curtis and Cannonball in a fatal four-way match several weeks back, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due and mark this down, write this down, carve this in stone. He earned his chance, and he earned my respect in that regard, but he has his work cut out for him tonight. Wow.
Richards headed to the ring.
This is exciting, Mike.
There he is.
Exciting.
A guy who's done so much all around the world in the biggest companies where professional wrestling happens. Former WWE superstar, former ECW superstar, former WCW superstar. He's been the leader of the Blue World Order. He's been a member of Raven's Flock. He's been the leader of Right to Censor. The guy has done it all. He's won championships. He's faced a who's who of guys, of names in this industry, and Stevie Richards has arrived in CWE, and we are happy to have him.
I had the opportunity in the locker room area to talk to Stevie Richards before this big match. He is not only
a very, very smart and intelligent man. He's a very charming man too, and he's got the fans just absolutely enthralled in this ring right now. They are so excited to listen to this ovation for Stevie Richards.
Yeah, he is a guy the crowd is getting behind here. People fill CWE arenas, CWE shows, just to get a glimpse of not only our CWE stars, but also guys that come in to test their mettle and their weight against CWE stars. Stevie Richards the latest, and on June 28th, a Friday night in Winnipeg at Casa Domingo, Paul London will come to town as well.
That's going to be one huge event. We're calling this one Maximum Velocity. Go to CWECanada.ca for all information on where to get tickets for this huge event. Wow.
Stevie Richards, Anderson Tyson Moore about to go one-on-one in our TV main event. If you're just joining us, I'm Mike Young, joined by Dynamite Dave Petro, and we're so glad you could make CWE a part of your morning, your afternoon, your night, whenever. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for checking us out. If you miss any episodes, you can catch them all on YouTube. Just search for CWE Canadian Wrestling's Elite.
The main event brought to you by McDowell's Gym, where all the superstars of CWE train and get that fabulous looking physique that they have on them.
Yeah, it certainly is a big, big deal for us to be associated with McDowell's Gym, one of the finest fitness experiences you will find in Winnipeg. Stradbrook Street in Winnipeg.
Absolutely. That's where, a lot of football, a lot of top athletes train there too. And
they know their stuff.
They absolutely do. In fact, I've seen some young football players, high school football players. We're talking guys that are 14, 15 years old, training there, hanging and banging, making money at the year.
Judging by the saloons you hang out in, that's not too difficult to do.
Always making fun of it.
Anderson Tyson Moore, Stevie Richards feeling each other out early on in this matchup.
I gotta tell you something, it has to be just an honor for ATM to be in the ring with Stevie Richards. There's no shame in getting basically a wrestling lesson by a wrestling icon, Stevie Richards. So, ATM better make this best of his opportunity to learn a lot from Stevie Richards.
Yeah, win or lose, he's going to gain some experience here tonight, but he's not being very gracious, not showing respect to Richards early on, and Richards going to make you pay, he's going to make you earn that respect. Right now, though, ATM pushing him into the corner, and not a clean break, chopping him, and then getting out of dodge.
That's right, getting out of dodge is the order of the day.
Look at him taunting the crowd here as Richards looks on. Richards has seen a lot. A chop's not going to faze him.
He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to taunt the crowd. He needs to focus on his opponent. He's got a very, very tough opponent in the ring. He needs to have all his wits about him and not worrying about the fans. Concentrate on the matter at hand, ATM.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. ATM's got a big task ahead of him, but in my mind, he is the type of guy that can rise to the occasion and do it. He rose to the occasion and was able to pull off the victory. Certainly not an easy task in that fatal four-way match to earn this shot, and I think he can do it here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold. I think that he's just basically going to be in it for the experience. Stevie Richards is too tough an opponent. I think, like I said, there's no shame in being defeated by a top-ranked superstar in the world of professional wrestling like Stevie Richards. ATM just needs to hang in there. Needs to get all the experience he can and learn from this as I've said before.
He's putting on a taunting clinic right now for Stevie Richards, so maybe Richards learning a little bit from him. Richards has done his share of bad things in the professional wrestling industry. He's been on the side of the crowd. He's been against the crowd. He's done things people have despised. He's done things people have loved. Right now, ATM seemingly having his way with Stevie Richards. He keeps executing an offensive maneuver, throwing Stevie Richards off, and then backing off, doing some taunting with the crowd.
Absolutely, Stevie Richards is a top name in the world of professional wrestling. And as I've mentioned before, in all the weeks we've been doing these broadcasts, all the superstars are lined up to get into CWE. We have Paul London coming up in the future, Stevie Richards, we've had Scott Steiner, Tommy Dreamer, all these guys, Shane Douglas, all these guys lining up to take on the top competition.
Yeah, more often than not, the guys are lining up to take on that competition coming in. Guys want to crack at these big names because they know, like Anderson Tyson Moore knows, a win over a guy who was the former leader of Right to Censor in WWE is going to vault him up the contenders pole here in CWE and maybe bump him to the front of the line for a future CWE championship match. We know Marius is going to take on Robbie Royce coming up at maximum velocity in the lumberjack ladder match. But after that, the field is wide open. Who's going to face the winner of that? If ATM wins this match tonight, that could be him.
Absolutely, because you score an upset victory, if you will, over a guy like Stevie Richards. ATM will vault to the top of the rankings, and he'll be knocking on the promoter's door. He'll be knocking on Executive Ambassador Shane Madison's door. He'll be knocking all over Manitoba to try to get a championship match, whoever the champion will be.
And now ATM being thrown off a little bit by the offense of Stevie Richards. Both of these guys in the feeling out process right now. ATM locks in a side headlock in the center of the ring. He's going to go from here. He's going to hold it. That's what he's doing right now, just trying to suck some of the life out of Stevie Richards. Richards sends him into the ropes, ducks under again as ATM floats over, and he nails him with a beautiful shoulder block, sending ATM spilling to the floor. And now Richards is in control, but he's not going to let ATM rest out there. Richards following ATM to the floor with a huge chop to the back.
Absolutely. They're fighting right into the crowd. They're fighting right into the merchandise stand area. What's he taking him outside?
Yeah, that's when people came in here this evening. That's where the ticket table was, and now Richards pounding away on Anderson Tyson Moore.
Fans are getting out of the way, that's for sure.
What does Richards have? He's got to take a drink from a fan.
Uh-oh. We know where this is going. We know where this is going.
Spitting in the face, something we've all wanted to do at one point, into the face of Anderson Tyson Moore.
I know I have. Good grief.
Anderson Tyson Moore tried to get out of the way of that and frankly walked right into that door.
Yeah, now we're over to the merchandise stand. Now we're over to the souvenir stand. You know, where all the DVDs go? They sold them all out tonight.
Anderson Tyson Moore trying to fight back, but Richards bouncing his skull off of that table all over Casademino in Winnipeg.
What's this? Put a picture. I think he put a picture of ATM on him and chopped him. Oh, it's Brian Rich. He got Brian Rich.
Some Brian Mitch merchandise used as offense in the Stevie Richards Anderson Tyson Moore matchup as they head over to the concession area and one of our sponsor tables, Muscles by Myers, in the house. Looks like he just got to sample some wheatgrass and he spit that in the face.
Look out, Dave!
Of Anderson Tyson Moore. He's all over the place, getting beat from pillar to post, from table to table. And a nice napkin handed to Stevie Richards by some lovely staff here at Casademino.
He's a little bit of a soft drink still in his face after spitting in his face. But let's get back to something over here. I saw something that just kind of slipped my mind. Brian Rich has merchandise, Mike?
Well, if you're willing to pay for it, you can find it here at CWE. Brian Rich merchandise, Danny Duggan merchandise, which I'm told is hard to get now since Shane Madison confiscated it.
Absolutely, it's like the repo man. It's like repossessed some of that stuff. And I'm not thinking that Shane Madison's putting it in his basement, in his posh mansion that he lives in.
Beautiful counter there by Anderson Tyson Moore, knocking Stevie Richards face first into that turnbuckle, and now ATM in control, and there's a neck breaker, and this is smart by Anderson Tyson Moore. We know Stevie Richards has had a long, tough history with neck injuries, neck surgeries, and ATM going right to the base, the root of the problem, and attacking the neck of Stevie Richards.
And right there too, in the shoulder, putting the pressure on the neck area, twisting the head. Anderson Tyson Moore has done his homework, which impresses me.
Yeah, it's pounded around the chest, the neck, the head.
That doesn't impress me.
All over the place. This match has been contested not only in the ring, but out on the floor. And now Anderson Tyson Moore working over that head and neck area. Could be the end of Stevie Richards if ATM keeps this focus up. We know about the injuries. We know about the surgeries. And Anderson Tyson Moore taking full advantage of that bullseye that Stevie Richards walks around with. 1, 2. Richards able to kick out at 2 there.
What a chop, Mike. That was huge.
There's a sleeper hold in the center of the ring. This could put Richards out. He's got nowhere to go. He's got to fight out of this hold because he's not going to make it to the ropes due to where he's positioned in the ring.
You are absolutely right. What a huge main event. This is the kind of caliber action that you see in your town. The marquee, you see the billboards, the posters, CWE coming. You get your tickets in advance. For all the great events, go to CWECanada.ca to find out where the stars of CWB will be, maybe even in your town soon.
1, 2, and a kick out by Stevie Richards. You're looking for something to do on Canada Day, Dave?
Yes, I am.
July 1st, we will be CWE I'm talking about, in Selkirk, Manitoba. So if you're looking for something to do, check out the CWE coming to Selkirk on Canada Day.
That's going to be a huge, huge day.
Full show details for all summer long. Constantly adding shows to the calendar. Find out if your town is there, CWEcanada.ca. And don't forget, June 28th, Casa Domingo in Winnipeg. Paul London, Maximum Velocity, comes to Winnipeg.
Oh, man, the action. I can't contain myself. I can't wait till June the 28th. That's going to be a huge show.
Certainly is. Not only will Paul London be in action, we'll also see a CWE Championship grudge match, the first time ever, a lumberjack ladder match, as the pissed off pitbull Robbie Royce defends against the guy who's got the belt in his possession. That is Marius.
The creepiest, one of the creepiest, not the creepiest guy, Sicko, but probably the most demented man that I have ever met in the world of wrestling, and I'm talking about Marius. And he will, well, at least at this time, Robbie Royce has a great shot, and I don't want to say regaining the belt because he is still the champion, but actually regaining possession
his property.
As property. That's his belt. And Marius has held on to this for months now.
And this attack, relentless attack on the neck and head by ATM on Stevie Richards has been going on for some time. He's not able to get him to submit yet, but Richards able to fight out of that last sleeper hold, chokehold, headlock attempt, and now Richards getting pounded on by Anderson Tyson Moore.
Dangerously close to the lights here at our venue. Anderson Tyson Moore's got to be careful.
He turned around to talk to the official Kelly Russell, and he got powerbombed out of the corner by Stevie Richards. Took your eye off the ball, ATM, and look what happened.
Yeah, you can't do that with a seasoned veteran like Stevie Richards, and now Stevie Richards getting an opportunity to regain momentum, get his breath back, and get his marbles together, if you will, his ducks in a row, and go on to, I would imagine, defeat ATM. Here we go.
Both men stirring, getting back to their feet. ATM nails him with a huge right hand. Richards fires back with one of his own, staggering ATM. ATM with a shot. Richards with a shot. Both men going toe-to-toe here in the center of the ring. Richards blocking ATM's blows, firing back with rights of his own. Now some lefts for good measure. Look at that! A beautiful uppercut by Richards sends ATM down, and now Richards seems to be in full control of this matchup.
The momentum has turned in this match. Stevie Richards in control.
Yeah, Richards ducks down, sends ATM over with a beautiful back body drop. The crowd eating it up, cheering for Stevie Richards here in our main event.
Wow, Mike, here we go.
Richards sends ATM in, catching him. Beautiful side slam. 2, 3, no! Left shoulder up by Anderson. Tyson Moore. Richards can't believe it.
This is close. That was close. What action. I am out of breath. In fact, I'm actually sweating probably more than Stevie Richards right now. This is an exciting match.
We gotta wonder, are we gonna see the Stevie kick? Are we gonna see the Stevie T? Who knows what Richards is gonna bring out, but he's got a lot of holes that can put you down for good. Oh, Richards came in with a ball of fire there and got caught. ATM ducking out of the way, and all of a sudden the tables have turned once again.
Checking on Stevie Richards here. Of course, still damage there to the lower region, if you will. ATM outside the ring. Is he going up for a high-risk maneuver on Stevie Richards?
Yeah, he's a little bit delirious right now. Doesn't quite know where he is. Slow to climb the top rope, but he's making his way there. Richards hasn't moved. He's in the middle of the ring. This could be the end. ATM comes off and misses the elbow.
He played possum, Mike. Come on, Stevie.
Stevie trying to get the crowd behind him.
Oh, he doesn't have to try. The crowd is firmly behind him, Mike. They are absolutely going bananas.
This could be the Stevie kick. Stevie kick on the way. Oh, ATM just pulled Kelly Russell out of the way.
Skullduggery. Oh, he rolls him
Roll up, schoolboy.
He's got the trunks, Mike. He's got the trunks.
It's over.
What?
ATM just picked up the victory.
Come on.
And stole one from Stevie Richards.
He pulled the trunks.
Stevie Richards has been defeated at the hands of Anderson Tyson Moore. This one is over. A huge upset to end CWE TV. Join us June 28th, Paul London, Maximum Velocity.
Wow.